I just read a little bit about that on BBC, and I know that there is a huge deal about that right now.
I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is, let's not call it a war. I don't think it's really developed to that point. There's a lot of noise going on, but let's be calm and let's see if this can't be worked out. Clearly, it's in the interest of the United States, of China, and Chinese people and American people that these trade problems get worked out. It's not unusual that we will have trade problems. We should expect that. But if we mature and we're thoughtful, surely we can find a way.
I think trade wars aren't won by anyone. You know, both sides lose. That's the first thing. If the United States has complaints about Chinese tariffs, there's a possibility to renegotiate those tariffs.
All trade wars are bad. The truth is, Mr. Trump has an election, or the Republican Party, which supports him, has an election in America. So Mr. Trump needs to make a lot of noise inside America in order to boost the chances of the Republican Party. So that's part of the reason he does it. The second reason, of course, is that China is growing in the world and America is declining. And this is a very difficult moment for America. And Mr. Trump wants to make America great again. He won't be able to do it by having a trade war. Everybody loses a trade war.
I'm definitely supporting China in the ongoing trade war between China and the US, because I think China is a very valuable resource to the West.
I think China is going to be the one that is going to win this.
I think consumers are usually the first victims of increased tariffs, and so they will pay higher prices, so they will buy fewer products. You know, I mean, that's the immediate negative result of a trade war.
It's actually going to increase prices at the consumer level.
They tend to raise prices. And across the world, whether it's America, China or Britain, everything is growing more expensive. So trade wars are not good for ordinary people. They're not good for the political class. They're not good for nations. So people should find other ways of settling their disputes other than wars, trade or otherwise.
Well, I like to think that we'll still be able to get all of the consumer goods that we like from the different places for a good price, and that everybody's profiting, or everybody's getting what they need from the arrangement. That's maybe quite an idealist view, but I like to think that we can go on that way.
Donald Trump has a very peculiar idea of international trade. He believes that, first of all, one side always wins and the other side loses. And he also believes that only the guy who sells products wins in a trade transaction. Now that's, of course, objectively wrong, because in trade, usually, if this is in a free market system, both sides win. And of course, the side that imports more products than the other side doesn't necessarily lose. So I think there are two errors in the perception of international trade by President Trump. But I think in the end, he will learn, and also his advisors will learn, that this method will not lead to the right result.
He has a pretty strong personality, and he is being demonized all over the world. But at the same time, I guess having your own opinions and having a willingness to do something is a part of being a strong politician. So even though he's being demonized, then at least he has some kind of rights and he has his own ideas.
I'm not a massive fan. I think he's a little bit too money motivated for my liking, therefore slightly immoral in my opinion. But he's certainly getting some stuff done for some people, suiting his own agenda.